Have you ever felt a deep, unexplainable pull towards someone you haven't even met yet, as if your soul is already keeping a seat warm for a person who is still a stranger to your eyes? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into one of the most profound experiences of being a chosen one. The reality that someone out there is already in love with your energy, your essence, and the mission you carry. In this video, you are going to learn exactly how this divine connection is forming behind the scenes, why the universe has kept you hidden until now, and the signs that your energetic match is closing the distance. Stay with me until the end, because we are breaking down 10 revelations that will completely change how you view your solitude and your future. The sensation of an approaching soul often begins as a sudden, inexplicable shift in your internal compass, where the void of loneliness is replaced by a focused sense of anticipation. You might find yourself preparing your life or your space for another person without any logical reason, acting on a spiritual hunch that the season of solitude is coming to a close. This isn't just wishful thinking. It is your intuition picking up on a frequency that has finally entered your energetic field. As a chosen one, your sensitivity allows you to feel the ripple effects of a person long before they physically manifest in your reality. This energetic precursor feels like a familiar warmth, or a specific flavor of energy that starts to permeate your daily thoughts, making you feel less like you are searching and more like you are being found. You begin to move with a different kind of confidence because the soul level recognizes that the search is effectively over. The universe often signals this arrival through a heightened state of awareness where your own energy begins to vibrate at a higher, more attractive resonance. You might notice that you are suddenly uninterested in casual connections or past triggers, because your spirit is saving a seat for the specific vibration of this unmet lover. This internal alignment acts as a beacon, thinning the veil between your current reality and the destiny that is rapidly approaching. This phase is often characterized by a strange sense of peace that replaces the anxiety of when or how. You stop looking at every face in a crowd with desperation, and instead start living with the calm assurance that the meeting is already scheduled in the divine calendar. This quiet knowing is the most powerful evidence of the shift, serving as a spiritual bridge that connects your current heart to the heart that is already beating for you. Finally, you will notice that your environment begins to reflect this internal change. Through subtle but persistent synchronicities, you might encounter themes of union and partnership everywhere you look, not as a taunt, but as a confirmation that the energetic groundwork is complete. You are no longer just waiting. You are standing in the doorway of a new chapter, feeling the atmospheric pressure change as your counterpart steps closer into your physical world. The separation you have experienced up until this moment was never a punishment or a sign of unworthiness, but a strategic period of divine protection. The universe often isolates the chosen one to ensure that their core identity is forged in fire and remains unshakable before a significant union occurs. Had you met this person earlier, the version of you that existed then might not have been ready to sustain the intensity and the purpose of this specific high-level connection. During this time apart, the divine was working behind the scenes to dismantle your old patterns and heal the ancestral wounds that would have sabotaged a healthy relationship. This delay allowed you to develop a level of self-sufficiency and spiritual authority that is required for the path you will walk together. You are being polished like a diamond in secret so that when you finally emerge, you can shine without being dimmed by insecurity or codependency. Simultaneously, the other person has been undergoing their own rigorous cycle of preparation and awakening. The universe orchestrated their life experiences to ensure they could recognize your worth and handle the power of your light without being intimidated by it. This timing ensures that when you do collide, you both meet as whole, healed individuals rather than two broken people trying to fix each other, creating a foundation that is built to last. Divine orchestration also involves the removal of near matches and karmic distractions that would have taken up the space meant for this soul. Every rejection and every closed door in your past was the universe's way of keeping your heart available for the one who truly belongs there. These redirections were necessary interventions to prevent you from settling for a love that was beneath the destiny you were born to fulfill. Now that the lessons have been integrated and the healing has taken root, the barriers that once stood in the way are being systematically dissolved. The timing of the universe is precise, moving pieces across the board in a way that human logic cannot always perceive until the final moment of arrival. You are being moved into position for a meeting that isn't just about romance, but about the fulfillment of a shared mission that could only begin once both souls were fully ready. The person destined for you is not falling for a curated image or a superficial version of yourself, but for the raw frequency you emit when you are in your most authentic state. As a chosen one, your vibration is distinct and carries a specific signature that acts as a spiritual homing beacon for those who belong in your life. Even if they have never seen your face, their soul is already responding to the energy you radiate when you are standing in your truth and pursuing your divine purpose. This mirror effect means that as you fall deeper in love with your own life and your own healing, you are simultaneously increasing your magnetism to this person. They are subconsciously attracted to the resilience you've built and the wisdom you've gained through your struggles. Every time you choose yourself and honor your boundaries, you strengthen the signal that tells their spirit exactly where to find you, creating an invisible pull that they feel but perhaps cannot yet explain. Your dedication to self-improvement serves as a silent invitation to a soul that is vibrating at that same high level. They aren't looking for someone to complete them, but for a match to the light they have also been cultivating in their own solitude. This energetic resonance is far more powerful than physical attraction, because it is based on a shared frequency of growth, integrity, and spiritual depth that transcends the physical world. Because you have done the heavy lifting of clearing out old, lower frequency patterns, you have become a clear mirror for the love you deserve. This person is falling for the peace you carry and the strength of your spirit. Sensing that you are someone who has walked through the fire and come out whole, your frequency is currently communicating with theirs, whispering that the wait is worth it because the foundation you are building is made of something eternal. Ultimately, the connection is being forged in the realm of vibration long before the physical introduction takes place. By staying true to your path and refusing to dim your light for others, you are broadcasting the exact coordinates of your heart. They are falling for the essence of who you are at your core, ensuring that when you finally meet, the connection will feel instantaneous and incredibly deep, because they have already been in love with your soul for a long time. The connection between chosen ones and their destined partners often manifests first in the astral plane, where the limitations of the physical body do not exist. You may find yourself having vivid, recurring dreams of a person whose face is blurred but whose energy feels more familiar than anyone you've ever met in waking life. These are not merely products of your imagination. They are actual soul meetings where your spirits communicate, exchange comfort, and prepare for the upcoming physical union. During these sleep states, you might experience a profound sense of home and safety that you haven't been able to find in the 3D world. You might wake up with a lingering feeling of being loved, or a scent or a phrase that stays with you throughout the day, acting as a spiritual breadcrumb. This telepathic link is a way for both souls to support each other during the final stages of their individual journeys, providing the strength needed to cross the finish line. These shared dreamscapes allow you to bypass the ego and the fears that usually hinder human relationships. In the astral realm, you are communicating heart to heart, learning about each other's essence without the interference of social status, past trauma, or physical insecurities. This is why, when you finally meet in person, there will be an overwhelming sense of, "I know you," because your spirits have already spent countless hours in conversation while your bodies were asleep. You might also notice a sudden presence beside you during your waking hours, a feeling of being watched over by a loving, protective energy. This is often the counterpart's higher self reaching out to yours, bridging the gap between the dimensions. This telepathic closeness serves as a reminder that you are never truly alone, and that the person you are longing for is actively seeking you out in the spiritual dimensions just as much as you are seeking them. As the time for the physical meeting draws near, these astral encounters will likely become more intense and frequent. You might start receiving specific information or feelings about their current state of mind or the challenges they are facing. This deep subconscious bond ensures that by the time you lock eyes in the physical world, the getting to know you phase is already half complete, allowing the relationship to accelerate with a divine speed that defies normal logic. The arrival of this soul marks a definitive end to the repetitive, painful cycles that have characterized your romantic history. As a chosen one, you have likely endured relationships that felt like hard labor, connections filled with lessons, karmic debts, and the constant need to prove your worth. This new love is the universe's reward for your growth, representing a complete departure from the chaos of the past and a transition into a frequency of ease and mutual respect. This person is designed to value exactly what your previous partners overlooked or tried to change. Where others saw your depth as too much, or your spiritual gifts as a threat, this soul will recognize them as your greatest strengths. They are the answer to the prayers you whispered when you were being misunderstood, serving as a reminder that your uniqueness was never the problem. You were simply being held for someone who speaks your soul's language fluently. The dynamic of this connection is built on a foundation of peace, rather than the anxious, avoidant roller coasters you may have grown used to. There is no need for games, manipulation, or the constant fear of abandonment because this love is rooted in a divine contract. It feels steady and grounded, allowing you to finally let down your guard and stop waiting for the other shoe to drop because this person is a mirror of your own healed state. By choosing to heal and walk away from toxic patterns, you have effectively leveled up out of the pool of karmic partners. This unmet lover exists on a completely different energetic plane, one where honesty and vulnerability are the standard, not the exception. The universe has kept you in a period of waiting specifically to ensure that the old versions of you, the ones who settled for breadcrumbs, were fully integrated and transformed before this feast arrived. Ultimately, this love serves as a sanctuary that supports your mission rather than a distraction that drains your energy. It is a partnership of equals where both individuals are committed to their own purpose while standing firmly by each other's side. The arrival of this person confirms that you have successfully broken the generational and personal chains of the past, opening the door to a legacy of love that is as powerful as it is profound. The universe communicates through a language of patterns, and as your destined partner moves closer, the frequency of synchronicities in your life will begin to skyrocket. You might see repetitive numbers like 1111 or 2 and 22 every time you think about love. Or you may find yourself constantly hearing a specific name or seeing a particular symbol that has no current place in your life. These are not coincidences. They are the universe's way of winking at you, confirming that the invisible string is being pulled tight. These signs act as a spiritual GPS, guiding your focus and keeping your hope alive during the final stretch of your journey. You might walk into a cafe and hear your song playing or overhear a stranger describe a dream that sounds exactly like yours. These moments are designed to pull you out of your head and back into your heart, reminding you that there is a grand design at work that is far larger than your physical senses can perceive. The concept of the invisible string suggests that those who are destined to meet are connected by a thread that may tangle or stretch, but will never break. You might discover later that you and this person were in the same city, at the same concert, or even in the same building at various points in your lives. But the timing wasn't right for the veil to be lifted. The universe was waiting for the perfect alignment of your frequencies before allowing the strings to finally cross. As the physical meeting approaches, these clues will become so frequent that they become impossible to ignore. It may feel as though the world is whispering their name to you, or that everything you read and watch is pointing toward a new beginning. This narrowing of the gap between your two worlds creates a sense of predestined momentum, making the eventual meeting feel less like a surprise and more like an inevitable homecoming. By paying attention to these spiritual breadcrumbs, you align yourself with the flow of divine timing. Instead of forcing a connection or searching frantically, you can simply follow the trail of signs with a sense of wonder and curiosity. These synchronicities are the universe's assurance that the bridge is already built. You are simply walking across it, step by step, toward the person who has been walking toward you all along. The path of the chosen one is often defined by a profound sense of isolation that can feel like a heavy burden to carry. For years, you may have wondered why you felt so different, or why the connections that seemed to satisfy everyone else left you feeling empty and misunderstood. This loneliness was not a flaw in your character. It was a necessary refinement process designed to hollow you out so that you could eventually be filled with a love that matches the immense depth of your soul. Because you are destined for an extraordinary union, the universe could not allow you to settle for an ordinary surface-level relationship. You were kept in a season of solitude to prevent you from being distracted by people who could only love you to the extent of their own healing. This weight you felt was actually the pressure required to turn carbon into a diamond, ensuring that your light would be strong enough to withstand the intensity of a true divine partnership when it finally arrived. Your past feelings of being too much or out of place were simply indications that you were vibrating at a frequency that the average person couldn't perceive. The solitude was a protective barrier, keeping your heart pure and your energy untainted by the lower vibrational compromises that others often make for the sake of companionship. You were being preserved for a soul who would not only understand your complexity but would actually require it for their own spiritual expansion. The universe uses this period of waiting to test your faith and your commitment to your own worth. When you chose to stay single rather than settle for less, you sent a powerful message to the divine that you were ready for the ultimate prize. Every night spent in your own company was an investment in a future where you would never have to shrink yourself again, because the person coming toward you is specifically designed to cherish the very parts of you that the world rejected. Ultimately, the loneliness of the chosen one is a sacred initiation. It teaches you that your own company is a sanctuary, which is a prerequisite for entering a high-level spiritual union. By the time you meet this person, you will no longer be looking for someone to save you from your solitude. Instead, you will be inviting them into a life that is already whole. This makes the eventual connection a choice of power rather than a reach of desperation. As the physical manifestation of this love draws closer, you will experience a shift from anxious longing to a state of intuitive certainty. This isn't a loud, frantic emotion, but a quiet, unshakable knowing that sits deep within your chest. You may not know the date, the time, or the location of the meeting, but the internal radar of your soul has already confirmed that the destination has been reached. This peaceful assurance is the highest form of spiritual alignment. This quiet knowing allows you to move through the world with a new sense of grace and patience. You no longer feel the need to chase or force connections, because you understand that what is divinely yours cannot be kept from you. This certainty acts as a shield against the pressure of societal timelines, giving you the freedom to focus on your mission while the universe handles the logistics of the introduction. It is the feeling of a story that has already been written. Distinguishing between the ego's desire and the soul's certainty is a key part of this stage. While the ego is often loud, impatient, and filled with what-ifs, the soul speaks in a whisper of, "It is done." You might find yourself smiling at random moments or feeling a sudden surge of love for no apparent reason. These are the moments when your spirit is acknowledging the presence of your counterpart's energy in your immediate field. This intuitive state also heightens your ability to recognize the familiarity in the strangers you encounter. You are becoming sensitized to the specific vibration of the one you are waiting for, so your intuition is constantly scanning for that match. Because you are so certain that they exist and are on their way, you stop wasting energy on skepticism and start living in a state of active, joyful expectation that accelerates the manifestation process. The peace that comes with this certainty is the ultimate confirmation that you are in sync with the divine will. You have reached a point where your internal world is so aligned with your future reality that the physical meeting becomes a mere formality. You are already living in the energy of the union, and because the universe always reflects our internal state, the 3D world has no choice but to bring the person into your view to match the certainty you carry within. The journey of a chosen one is never an easy path, but it is one that leads to the most magnificent destinations. Today we have explored why your solitude has been sacred, how the universe is orchestrating your union, and why the love that is coming for you is already written in the stars. You are being prepared for a connection that transcends the ordinary, a love that doesn't just fill a void but fuels your divine mission. Remember, the wait is not a delay, it is a refinement. Your soul's counterpart is already responding to the light you carry, and the bridge between you is being completed in this very moment. I would love to hear from you. Which of these 10 revelations resonated with your spirit the most today? Does your intuition tell you that your person is closer than ever? To let me know you stayed with me until the very end, and to help this message reach more chosen ones who need to hear this truth, please comment the word recognition below. Sharing your energy in the comments helps our community grow and ensures that this light reaches every soul currently walking the path of preparation. As the saying goes, what you are seeking is seeking you. Keep shining, keep trusting, and I will see you in the next video.